where they can make you a star. Vegas at the NFR.
NFR Extra is a podcast dedicated to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and features icons and personalities that embody the Western lifestyle.
I was kind of a little more relaxed, like I've done the best I can. Whatever happens, happens, and I'm going to have to live with it either way, and there's nothing I can change within the moment anyway, so I might as well focus on competing, and it went a lot better for me.
But that's plus. That's good to have somebody like I'm not saying we or him is on the top of the game to just make the game way better. Make it fair for us and for the next generation trying to fix it right now to make way better for the future.
It makes you elevate knowing that the element that you need is not there. So it's just like, this is on us, boy.
Yeah, and I see where you're coming from a little bit, but I always take the easier route if possible.
Gimme Fluffy.
Perfect.
This is pro rodeo announcer Andy Seiler, and you are listening to NFR Extra.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't been nervous on any of these podcasts yet, but I'm a little concerned as to how this is going to go. When Kaleb and Junior are both smiling, that means dangerous things are going to happen. So
we're just going to have fun.
They said they were going to ask the question, Steve. So
no, I don't want to. I just want to ask one question.
All right, go ahead.
I would like to catch on here Junior's impersonation when they announced Jess Pope.
Okay.
That'll be bad.
No, do it.
That's true though. Like we're at the NFR, we're getting ready to rope. I always walk in or just watch some before we just want to have the atmosphere in there. Go walk a few horses, and I was just walking in and said he was doing really good, winning everything, one few rounds, and he says, and people going crazy and saying, "This man is on fire." And just like I said, Scott said, "Hey, his name is Jess Pope," and he said, "Man, I don't know if you guys are Catholic, but the Pope is in the house." I just say, did you really say that?
Honestly, as an announcer, some of that stuff is just served up on a platter, and you're a fool if you don't take it.
Oh, I love it.
The Pope is in the house.
The Pope is in the
house. It's amazing to hear that, though, because I've never been in that position, but that's wise to kind of get in the building and get a feel for what you're going to compete in. That's smart. I mean, I'm sure there's guys that do it, but I've never heard somebody say that before. So what are you looking for? Are you just trying to kind of get yourself in the moment? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I just like to jump out there a little bit and just watch, a few horses, and because we just stay on the back, and it's kind of like dark. It's just something I have always done it. So I just walk out there, just get my rope. I check my steer. We always know what steer we're going to rope. I go over there, walk by, look at him, and just go out there, watch it like 3 or 4 horses buck a little bit, just get in there and then walk back, get in my horse and get everything going.
Yeah, and to touch on that, the atmosphere in there is so overwhelming. Like he's saying, we're in the back. It's just another rodeo. But then once you come through the tunnel and you walk into the arena, you have 18,000 people right there on top of you, and the electricity and everything else is going crazy, and you're about to run one for $27,000, and world title implications are on the line, and it's just it's a big wow factor. So to be able to go in there early and just we've been to enough rodeos now. There's nothing that compares to Thomas and Mac, but we've been to enough rodeos now that once we kind of get in that situation, we can kind of acclimate and kind of get ready. But if you kind of just hang out in the back the whole time and it's just kind of ho-hum, everybody kind of talking and getting ready and such, and then once you walk in there, then it's just wow.
Sensory overload.
Yes. Yeah. So that's one thing that like I'll go watch some bulldoggers and stuff and just kind of get yourself into the circumstance of getting ready to rope.
Do you feel that in your horses too? Because that's got to be, your horses have got to get in that environment and just kind of feel like you're riding kind of lightning a little bit, no?
A little bit, but they've, I guess they've probably been here enough and been in those situations enough now that some horses like that, mine personally normally just stays pretty kill through the whole thing. But like some horses, you'll notice when you start walking them up there, the closer you get, 3, 2, 1, then time to go, they start getting a little more, and they'll want to turn around sometimes and stuff. But mine's an older horse, so he just kind of chills.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's different for both of you, but there has to be a certain type of horse you want for that setup. I mean, you want something that's short-strided when you're heading, is that right, in that building?
Yeah, you want something with some good foot speed, because you have to be able to take a hold of the steer. It's a different handle than we do all year. That's what I've said a few times is you want to be able to take a hold of the steer, almost pause for a second, and then drop back. Because our normal run throughout the years, you head the steer, you tie on, and you kind of go out the front a little bit, and everything kind of keeps rolling. Well, in there, if you kind of do that, then you end up in a weird spot on the wall, so then you don't get a very good finish. And the way that arena ropes, if you can go straight, then almost a little bit of a V back,
check mark.
Then you get to the farthest point on the wall to be able to get finished. And I necessarily don't want the steer to hit the V, but I want my horse to hit that V. That's why I give that little bit of time after I head the steer to just pause, wait, let the steer come around, and then drop my horse back, and then the steer can kind of stay on the same line as normal. But that allows you a lot more time to go hit your corner and get a finish.
And Junior, we know even if you're riding a pony, it doesn't matter, because I mean, you're gonna just run by or what, you know.
Not anymore, man.
He needs
all the help.
a donkey and an extension cord.
The old Junior need a great horse now, so that's why we try to get the best horse we can. I think a great roper, a guy can use his rope really well. He can get by, but on the level everybody are now, we have to have the best horse we can get to. We can rope on them, but you're not gonna make a difference. That's why we have the great horse.
Well, and tell us how much that's changed for you, because I know you got a lot of help from Jake when you first started, but your horsepower from the first one we saw you on at your first NFR to where it is now. I mean, you ride some really nice heel horses.
No, yes. I think I'm still learning, and this deal is always trying to get better. And the horse deal, the horsepower, Jake always says, and everybody, a great horse can change a guy's life, and that is true. So, and I think the whole sport, not because me or us, changed a lot. The level we see the young kids roping right now, that's unbelievable.
Right.
So we have to rope really good, and if plus we have a great horse, we can use them, makes a huge difference, because Marcus, and he said, Strand told him one time, I said, man, one little tent can change your life forever.
That's very wise.
So it is true. One little tenth of a second can change our lives forever. And it is true. And it's been a long journey and learned a lot. Now I try to use my horse more, and, we try to develop a run that would work for us. And I just try to do my job, man. I'm not even worried about what that guy does. And, I'm trying to get my stuff together. You know what I'm saying? My horse is working right. We work together, but good horses. And I have been really, really blessed with great horses since the day I got here. I didn't have that much horsepower. I got in the beginning, got help. And first thing after I rode Mr. Allen's horse, and through the end of the first year, I kind of run out horsepower. I didn't have no horses, and it's kind of really cool. Everybody let me ride the horses to finish the season. Jay let me ride, Cole, Patrick, kind of jump here and there. So and Mr. Allen, and to ride his horse. But after that, we just I kind of realized, and we made it, trying to get better. And Jake always told me, man, you need to get in horses. No matter how good you rope, you need to learn how to use your horse, keep them working. And you got to have a great horse. A great horse make a huge difference on you forever. And plus, keep them sound, That's everybody just, because I pull back, the lean back, they all get mad, think I'm just killing my horse.
Right.
And then sometimes I'm saying, sometimes I do have to pull mine, but all my horses just been sound forever, and just keep them working. I don't do that all the time. And sometimes a little 10 seconds make a huge difference, I hear you see a lot of guys pulling a little bit more than you used to be, because we rope one steer for 20-something thousand every night. So that's all we have to do.
Right.
Kaleb was talking about his direction and change there at the finals. So how does that affect you for your game plan on heeling? Is that just you're looking at the same deal, or that this is going to be different than
Man, it's this arena is kind of a little tricky, you know, because if you jump out there, steer step left, that's not very good. So you're gonna put your head in a bind, or if you stick it on and you get too behind the steer heat, it's gonna be really bad for you too. So mainly you have to let that steer go, trying to keep him straight as possible. But if you're late and your head is sticking on it, you're probably worse binding if he's going left, and you know what I'm saying. So it's kind of tricky. That's you have to just really live it. But it's like the arena is so narrow. If you can create a little bit more room for you to make a good interest and have space, if you're in a bind, you take one more swing, but keep catching, stay on the average, or if you have a great steer, you go around him and wait in your head to set up the run, make a big difference on the finish. Like Kaleb was talking about the wall. So that's I think the key out here. But the start is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Did you guys have a game plan coming into this deal as far as, I mean, it looked like, don't get mad at me, it looked like you guys were playing conservative a little bit, like just like almost the average game. Just watching you, you know what I mean? Like I've seen how fast you guys can be in that building. And this year it was like, was it something different, or is it just kind of you guys feeling it out?
Well, go ahead. Well, we had a really, I'm just going to tell my side, we had a great year. We had a good lead, and everybody, just talk, oh man, you guys gonna win it for sure, this huge and that. Lead. But yeah, huge lead. We had a great year, better than everybody else ever had. But we go out here, the guy just killed 5 steers in a row, and he does good and win some rounds. It's just not that much lead.
Right.
So we're just trying to make some good runs, but we know we didn't have to go super fast.
Right.
But we just trying to make the same run we made it, and just like not playing safe, nothing, but I kind of just like dropped the ball a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just like didn't feel right, and just a little behind some.
How was that? What was that?
That's not excuse, but I just practice a lot before I come over here. So I got a little sore. Winters on the rope, I had a little sore in my arm, but it's just like, that's nothing, you know what I'm saying? I just take some medicine as I'm feeling good. But when I got here, I felt like I couldn't get going. I always have that feeling I'm behind. I always just like, I'm a little behind. I need to get more aggressive. And then we started good, make some good runs. But I think the start, I wasn't getting the good start. I thought I was just getting a little behind. And then we were still doing good, but then I ended up broke my horse front leg on one. That's one. And then we stayed trying to just keep going through, stay on the average.
What round was that?
I don't remember.
That's like
3rd or 4th.
Yeah. So that's kind of like hurt. And then he just hooked it on one. I rope a leg on one to win the round. So just like, and keep, going on. So that's why I just like, man, I was just jackpotting the buckskin horse, and he's really fast. It's kind of a little crazy in the small building, but he really runs, so he just can just wait and just rope the steer. So I just like, man, I would go practice. I say, I'm going to probably switch horses and just to change something different. Not because my horse is phenomenal. He's one of the very best. But I just get on the other one and then give me more time for me, because they're so fast footers, so who to wait him, and then to give me time to rope. But I hurt my shoulder a little bit. When I went home, practice hard, then I figured out I had something going on. But that's why I thought I couldn't really get going. I hear it's so fast, too, pop fast. No matter, like, you cannot really play safe because it's fast. You got to be aggressive enough. That's probably kind of I felt like. But we stay hooking average. We roped the last one we had to do. It's a lot of pressure. Patrick, Tanner, they press on the whole time. They amazing, phenomenal job. Put a new record on 10, and even the last one, they won the round, and if we messed up that one, they'd have won it too. So it's not a huge lead on this rodeo. Is so paid so well and so amazing. It's just everybody has a chance to win, no matter how big a lead you have.
So Kaleb, from your standpoint, obviously it's a team competition, but when that happens, how do you keep yourself from hitting the panic button?
We run so many steers together. I think that, we feed off of each other, and we kind of know what each other's thinking and what we're going to do in different situations. And that's a huge plus, and having faith in each other. You know what I mean? Like, I never one time doubted that we was going to win it. I didn't know how we was going to win it. I didn't know if it come down to the last year and we got to be 3-2, then that's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? And that's where I just talked to him a lot, and just kind of kept the morale going, that we're going to win it. And whatever it takes that we got to do, if we got to win in the last 3 rounds, so be it. That's what we'll do. we started off good. We I think we won second or third in the first 2 rounds, had a couple good runs, and then we didn't place for a few rounds there. And one time my horse was too hurt. I had to get on my other one. And then one time I didn't get as good a go as I wanted. So just kind of stayed in the average. And, and it doesn't bother me, but I've had several people be like, look like you're safetying up. Well, only thing that I've learned in there is that if you get a good roll, it's easy to be fast. If you don't get a good roll, it's the toughest place in the world to be fast. And that's one thing I've tried to train myself is if you do get the go and you do have the opportunity, capitalize, try to win something. If not, catch your steer, come back the next night and stay on the average. Because that's what's happened a lot of the times that I've won reserve is I've stayed, pedal to the metal the whole time. Well, then if something, goes a little bit wrong and I miss, well, then it drops you back on 2 steers. You win 5th or 6th in the average when you need to be winning a top 2 or 3 check to win the world. And so that's one thing that I've really tried to, even at home, practicing and stuff is, train yourself, because when you get in that situation, like I was saying earlier, it's so overwhelming, and, you get in your own element and you're prepared and you're focused and everything's happening, but it happens so fast. From the time you nod, you need to be leaving, and then the steers are way faster than they look on TV. And, that's one thing that a lot of people are like, oh, just run them down there and catch them, catch 10. Good luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Honestly,
Yeah.
the arena is actually shorter than most arenas are wide.
Right.
So,
right.
and then you take that and then you go 50 foot wide from the box to the left corner. You know what I mean? So it's like
Nothing.
yeah. And then if you're open older steers, yeah, it's probably not as big a deal. But when you're open, bigger, fresh Mexicans that hit the end of it and hop fast, is split second reactions.
So when do you have that feeling? Like, is it as soon as you drop your hand? Is it when you're coming across the line? Because your wind up is different than other guys. There's a lot of guys that every swing is the same. You can almost slow down and then boom. I mean, and I've seen you do it. I mean, we've grown up together. But when do you get that feeling?
Pretty much when you hit the line.
Okay.
That's one thing. Like when you release your horse, if you release your horse and you leave in sync with him, and then the steer shows up, and then it's right around the barrier line is when everything feels like it's coming together right there. And then that's where I think it was. I don't remember what round it was. Pink night. I'm pretty sure it was pink night. We had a really good steer, and I was upset with myself, but I was more happy with myself that I did take the extra swing and go and catch the steer, because in other times I would have made that mistake and tried to catch him, and it's 50-50. Looking back, I might could have caught him, maybe not. But at the same time, we was already down 1 in the average, and I knew we needed to catch all our steers to have ourselves a chance at the end, to not put ourselves in a situation where we do have to win 3 rounds in a row or whatever. Because like you were saying, they was lighting them up and they was winning the average, and there was 1 steer ahead of us and ahead of us on time, and you know what I mean? So I was happy with myself for going and doing that. It kind of sucked that we didn't take advantage of a good steer that we had drawn, but at the same time, I was happy that I didn't make a mistake.
So your horsepower has changed quite a bit. And I think Junior made a good point, because we grew up watching Speed, and I think if you were being candid with Speed, he would tell you that Viper changed his career, and that horse helped him win 8 in a row. And when he didn't have that horse, there just always seemed to be one little thing that was missing when he needed it. So tell us how you've changed your horse program.
My whole horse program's evolved, from breeding to the futurities. And that's one thing, several people's told me, riding the futurity colts and all that stuff is actually, up my game as far as riding open level head horses as well. So, Cuervo coming to my life at a good time. I needed him, and he's so honest and consistent. He does the same thing every time, and he's not the flashiest horse out there. But at the same time, he gives me the same score, same read, same run every single time, no matter where we're at. And to be able to rely on that, is worth $1 million.
Is he just better for one setup, or you can take him anywhere?
Jeff Flynn can make the finals on him. That's the only horse he rode pretty much. And, but when I got him, I kind of use him more like one headers and situations like that. He's not 100% sound. So I only ride it like Cheyenne stuff. I have a good horse for that. So I kind of flip flop and, don't use him quite as much, and try to just use him when he's really good and when the rodeos pay a lot.
I want to talk about the when you guys were discussing, kind of changing your gears for this is what we got to do. The hard thing about the team roping is you talk to a lot of these other guys, if they have something that they messed up here at the finals in particular, they go into their little spot, they go do their deal by themselves. But like team roping, how do you guys, like you said, you roped a ton of steers together. When it's all said and done, like, do you guys talk about like, hey, this is where we messed up, this is what happened? Like, how do you get back to that basis of center here at the finals when you're kind of on top of each other for 10 days?
Yeah, and that's kind of a conversation for the next day. If one of us messes up, the other one's always there to console him, tell him everything's going to be good. We don't really get into the nitty gritty of, hey, I should have did this or I should have done that. That's more of a confidence building thing that we have together.
Yeah.
That we don't really talk about it. We just say, everything's going to be great, going to be ready to rock on tomorrow, and then the next day after, because we both know we've roped enough steers, we know what we did really. And, we'll talk about it and stuff, but
doesn't necessarily need to be said.
Yeah, we don't, you don't have to talk about it, but we dang sure don't talk about it right after it happens.
Right.
We give it a little bit of time. We pretty much just talk to each other. You know what I mean? We don't talk about our run or anything like that, and then the next day if we go practice, I'm like, man, I should have done this. Or he's like, yeah, I could have done this or whatever. And then to build on it, because that's one thing, we're very honest with each other. We're, whatever we're feeling in the run or whatever, we talk about it, because that's where communication is key, in my opinion. Some people will just let it keep going and going and going and building. Well, then they end up upset with each other or whatever. Whereas he and I, we just, address the situation and talk about it. And if he wants me to do something different, I do. And vice versa,
No.
Junior, are you still traveling back to Brazil some?
I go a little bit, not as much, but I just went out there the other day, so see my family. It was a quick trip.
Do you do any clinics or anything down there as well?
Man, we didn't have time to do all that. We're so busy here trying to get everything lined up, and I think that's something for later on when we just slow down a little bit more. I think we can do that. Mm-hmm.
So there's quite a few talented ropers in Brazil, though, correct?
Yes, sir. It is. It's a lot of. The whole sport's been growing a lot, and like we talk about the young guys coming up, it's now so easy. They can, watch us the whole time, has TV and all the, even sometimes they just doing their YouTube live and all that kind of stuff. So they just can watch, and plus Instagram, Facebook. So they just one little thing here and there. Before it was almost impossible to get something to watch. So they always watching, we competing here and there, so it's easy. They just get better and better. So they have some great talents coming up, and they're plus, like Kaleb saying, horse wise too. They just been breeding horses and training, and they're back in a couple of years ago. They done brought a lot of people just do clinics and working cow horse clinics. So they all working on it for years. They've been pretty good. They're riding good, having some good horses, but plus our sport, it's been pretty amazing. So all over the world, pretty much, we can tell. I watch some videos, and I was talking to some old friends. Even them, they go to places there, they don't even know the kids anymore. They say they rope pretty good. We don't have no idea where they come from, where they live. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting in a couple more years.
Let's take a quick pause, and we'll be right back. Want to relive the best NFR moments from the last 37 years? We've got you covered at nfrexperience.com. Check out the NFR History tab at the website for a walk, or should we say gallop, down memory lane. You'll find images, recaps, and videos from the greatest moments from the last 37 years in Las Vegas. From Ty Murray to Trevor Brazil, Louis Field to Casey, Charmaine James to Mary Berger, Fred Whitfield to Joe Beaver, and everything in between, you'll find it here. There's something for all rodeo fans. Check it out at nfrexperience.com, because legacies and memories are made in Vegas.
Position to where you're at. I mean, is it almost like a surreal feeling to where you look at yourself as a kid with the dream of doing what you've done and to go back? I mean, do you really ever ponder on that, or is it just kind of the same situation of like, I'm just going back to see family? But it's got to be, raise a lot of emotions to go back to Brazil in your position.
Yeah, it is. It's just to go back home. Most of them just want to see my family. It's pretty good to go out there. I never really went to stay for a long time, But it's always good to go back home and see everybody. But I try to keep, not being rude, but try to keep pretty simple.
Right.
I'm very thankful for everything God has been putting in my life, been working, and just changed my whole life to here. And it has been a true blessing. But I just try to go and be happy about it. Just be enjoying and just see my friends a little bit, laugh about it, and then see how's everything going. But it's just so fast. We get on the plane,
Go
10 hours, you're here again.
Yeah.
If you want to go back 10 hours, like we rodeo, and we go 10 hours, you're in Arizona, and then you just drive 12 more in Montana. It's like, what the heck? Change completely.
You ever
The whole scenario.
Yeah.
So what's going on? But
Are you taking him down there yet? You gone down there?
no, yeah.
Caleb?
They just, no. They really want him. They really want them to go over there, and they just, so we didn't have time to do it yet. One day we'll go out there. Actually, I went last week, man. It was beautiful. They got a lot of rain, and I had to drive a different way to go to where my sister's living now with my mom, as we can go through some big ranches out there. That was pretty cool to see the few horses and see all the cattle with grass all over. So man, that's pretty nice.
You guys ever do muley ropings?
Like Clovis, Guyman, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Guyman, really.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of luck of the draw rodeos. Which it just happened to fall this year on time where we couldn't go anyways. And Jeff Flanagan got married during Clovis short rounds, and Junior was in it. So we stayed home from the California run this year. We came out to Logandale and roped, went back home for the U.S. finals and a couple jackpots around there.
Nice. But do they rope a lot of muleys down
I'm
there?
done with muley. That's why I move away.
All right. Answers that question.
I've seen a lot of those videos,
Yeah.
of those big Bramers. I mean, just so the shots that you are known for, I mean, that's a Tuesday in Brazil, correct?
That's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So when you guys go to other events where you can have multiple partners, do you try to rope with the same people, or it just depends on who's there? How does that work when you're picking other partners?
Yeah, you try to rope with the same guys as much as possible, just because of law of averages, I guess you would say. And just no different than that. Like, he and I rope so much together, you kind of make a run together that you know what each other's going to do in different situations. So then that allows you to build on the team, and just feels like it makes everything go a little bit smoother, knowing kind of what the other guy's thinking.
So is there ever like a look or a nod, like, hey, this is before the run starts, where, hey, this, we're going to go fast? I mean, because I remember roping with my dad, and there's certain times where it's like, hey, we're going to be 7. So like, when you're an average roper, 7's a big deal. But like,
Yeah,
you guys have
7 of these guys, so we're going long.
Yeah, exactly. So the other
But
end,
not halfway?
So
Okay.
round 10. Okay, all right. But is there ever like a call sign or?
Not necessarily. Like I said, we've kind of roped enough and kind of know each other's traits, and that's one thing that's nice about roping with him is if we're in a situation where we just need to catch, he's got that ability, and he knows that I'm going just to catch. And then if we're in a situation where we need to be fast and I might not get the perfect go, I can run that steer one swing further, and he's going to tee off on him and make the run that way. That I don't have to take that risk. But we kind of feed off of each other in that sense. If we're at a jackpot and we feel we're getting down to the 4th round, before the short round, and we're a little bit behind, then it's pretty common knowledge that we're going to try and speed up on that one.
So how hard is it to rope that steer in round 10, where literally all you're trying to do is catch? Because that's not either one of your styles. Like that's not what you guys do.
We've kind of transformed a little bit. We've got to. That's one thing. Like with all the futurities and stuff, it's mainly you're just showing your horse, so you're just going and catching. And we've run that steer several times at the house where it's like, hey, because honestly, in that situation, if it's like, hey, you got to be 4 flat to win the world, we've done it a million times.
Right.
We've made that run, so we don't work on that one as much. The just catch situation, that's one thing that we try to take care of at home. And then we've been in that situation for the past 2 years. We just need to knock the last one down clean, and we have not drawn
The one we won it, the worst one every single time.
both times we've had them. I mean, we just little old itty bitty horns, and want to get a little bit heavy and wants to kind of stop and get low headed, and it's been a little bit nerve wracking. Like honestly, there's definitely a lot more steers that a guy would like to pick, because honestly, I mean, I would say definitely top 2 worst, both in that
10th
set.
round.
Both of our 10th round steers.
What? But I mean, devil's advocate here. Then you get the best steer, and you know, it's like, oh, I got the best one
Yeah.
here. You know what I mean? It's
Here comes
almost like-
Fluffy.
it's like, God, yeah, exactly. Taking cupcake.
little Hereford cross.
Yeah.
Oh.
You feather neck. But I mean, that's kind of almost like the deal to where, you know, I mean, does that help to where it's like, gosh darn it, this like, it makes you elevate knowing that the element that you need is not there. So it's just like, this is on us, boy.
Yeah, and I see where you're coming from a little bit, but I always take the easier route if possible.
Give me Fluffy.
Hereford. Love the Hereford. Yeah, 6-inch base horn. Go ahead and load in.
Yeah, chopped off horn. We'll take him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's great. I don't know. Yeah, so it's so impressive. And it's too, like, you know, I mean, having said that other people, you know, oh, it looks like you guys are safetied up. We've done this long enough, and you guys have turned, you know, more steers together than most people will in their entire lifetime. And it's just very, very impressive. You know, like they always say, Jess Pope was talking about the 10,000 hour rule. But when somebody makes something look easy, you know, it's like, I could do that. Or how'd they miss that? It's like, go try that for a second. So I don't know. It's easy to be, you know, a critique watching you guys do your thing and like, well, I'll tell you what Junior should have done. It's like, I'll tell you what you should do. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Junior's doing just fine.
You're not Junior.
We've thought that a few times.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of keyboard warriors out
Yeah.
there. that
No,
love
for
to
sure. Everybody
tell-
start texting you. Get on this horse. Do this. Do that. Do this. Do that. Get on that
Elbow up
horse.
just a little bit more.
Get
riding
off
the
your
court.
horse.
Yeah.
Get on the street. Why you ride your horse? Go at him, and one more steer. You guys get it done. Just like, whatever. I'm gonna do this. We've done this the whole year.
Yeah. When are you up? Oh, you're not? Yeah.
Tell Caleb to do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell him
Yeah.
next time.
I'll be sure to tell Caleb that. Yeah.
I'll tell him right before. Hey, my friend just said that. I think you just need to probably be more aggressive on the bird. So, okay, I'm just going to take this on the third hop. Just make sure your face really tight on that wall. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's awesome.
My friend said, don't rope your horse.
Oh,
That's
geez.
awesome.
So was the second one harder?
Not really. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like the first one, kind of, I don't know, took a little pressure off of our shoulders a little bit. We had been so close so many times, and it was just such a long road, and come up short 4 times or whatever it was, you know, and just by a little bit every single time. And then it was almost like instead of exciting, it was almost like a pressure relief, I guess, more so. And then this time when we won it, I was more excited.
Well, I think it's crazy because I grew up a team roper, but Steve and I both know people that could make it to the NFR, but they have a real job or they only go to circuit rodeos or whatever it is. So I think to me, it's impressive that you guys have gone back to back because almost half the PRCA is team ropers, you know? So that also transitions into your new position. So tell us a little bit about being the event rep and how that's going so far.
You know, that's what everybody's kind of been giving me a hard time about it, saying, you know, seeing how I'm going to acclimate to it. And they said it takes away from your competition a little bit and stuff. And the first thing that I done when they told me that I was going to be the event rep was I sent out an email and told them that, hey, I'm here to represent you guys. I'm going to do the very best that I can. If y'all have anything that y'all want to talk to me about, then bring it to me. But when I'm at the rodeo and I'm competing as well, let's talk about it later. Let me. I'm a competitor.
Yeah.
I want to compete. So don't bring your problems to me while I'm trying to compete. But I will gladly talk to you
Soon as we're done.
all day. If you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, I'll talk to you about it all day. But wait until after I get done competing. And I think that's the biggest deal is being able to separate the two. And honestly, probably one thing that primed me to get ready for this job is producing my own event, producing my own team roping. So, because the first year, I think this was the first time that I've actually placed at my own team roping was this past year. you just get to the point where you kind of separate the two, you know, because you're always worried. You're like, I want to do the best job I can for everybody. And it's kind of on my shoulders to do the best job that I can. And then having to compete as well. Whereas this year I was kind of a little more relaxed. Like I've done the best I can, whatever happens, happens. And I'm going to have to live with it either way. And there's nothing I can change within the moment anyway. So I might as well focus on competing, and it went a lot better for me.
That's good to be able to separate those two as well. I mean, because they're two very important jobs. I mean, the event rep itself, you're taking phone calls, sending emails, checking cattle, doing all those things in places that you're not even there.
Yeah, exactly. And, trying to find a happy medium between everyone, between the stock contractors, the committees, our contestants, it's trying to, it's a little bit of a political game where you have to try and take bits and pieces from each category and try and make it where it's the best for the whole sport and not just for one person, and that's one thing that's been a little bit tough and, had a lot of conversations back and forth on different topics and just, trying to make it where it's good for the Cowboys, good for the committees, good for the contractors as well. And it's been going really good so far. And hopefully we're rolling into summer now, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, with the fast times and the young people that we see coming up, what's the next big thing in team roping?
Man, it's crazy, Just this year, last year, we see how many people complain about crossfire and this and that because everybody roping so good, throwing so fast, and headers, unbelievable. See some young guys are hooking the line, one headers, and I think that's our job is how good we rope. We need a header. They decide how fast they're gonna throw. But you see a couple years ago, some guys roping the neck rope. They have to find a judge for the neck rope. Now they can need two judges for the crossfire now. So I don't know. That's good because everybody just changing the game. Everybody getting good at it to go fast. We roping against the clock.
All right, we can't ask him because he's the event rep. What do you think about the crossfire?
Man, I don't. Everybody gives me hell, but I'm probably the only one don't get flagged out the whole year. I always, sometimes when I see guy get flagged out, I just kind of wait one more swing and I kind of consider. So scared because it's been forever been like, make a good run, just need to catch it. I end up throwing too fast. Used to. Now I'm need like, man, did I crossfire? I'm like, that was a second half all day, man. You get too old. I said, I feel like it's about to flag me out. Yeah. I said, wow, what? I was in the third off. but I don't know. I'm just, I always say I'm just excited and very thankful just to be part of the sport. But man, it's been amazing. And it is always, when everybody rope that good, always gonna have something to work on. And now he's working on that. His new job. He's gonna have his hands full, but he's good enough to just separate them. But that's plus. That's good to have somebody like I'm not saying we or him is on the top of the game to just make the game way better, make fair for us and for the next generation. Trying to fix it right now to make way better for the future.
So tell me about the first time you saw him in those dress pants.
I don't know, but man, I think I think he would do a great job. I think he'd be pretty good. I think they have done a great job. But the team roping in general, that's been everywhere you go. You go to Jackpot, we go through roping sometimes, have some fresh steers, tough, and then we go through Longberry, just like, man, you watch it, we're fresh enough. I said, I think if you just catch through here, I bet it's gonna be easy to win. When you get in the end, the first, second, third, as a tough son of a gun. So it's no more playing easy, no more just to see the whole sport, how amazing everybody roping in every different setup and situations. And like, we're really good. I'm really good buddies with Brother Colin. He said, man, to see those guys roping. So yeah, I said, well, good thing in 5 more years when they turn 18, I'll be done.
That's the thing, though. Nothing compensates experience. I mean, you can have these kids that come up that are like, holy cow, they're just knocking the horns off them and spinning the hide right off them. But then you go to, all of your different rodeos and you come to the finals and it's like, we're going to break records. And it's like, you haven't caught yet, kid. Just, go ahead and catch a couple first here. So I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I mean, to be able to compartmentalize the difference between your new job and roping and being a contestant and being a representative and then everything that you guys have done. I mean, that's really, you can't go to a school or a clinic for that. That's just time in the saddle and swinging a rope.
Well, I think the other thing that's really cool about both of you is it's really easy to recognize special, and I know you guys don't want to talk about yourself in that way, but there's certain things you see and it doesn't matter what sport it is. When you see it, you're like, that's different. That's not the same. The first time I ever saw you rope on TV at the NFR, it was like that's not That's not happening with anybody else. You know, there's guys that can rope fast, but there aren't guys roping over their horse's head, moving their horse over and then dallying, you know,
or breaking their backbone.
But I mean, you see kids do that now. You know, I mean, there's a lot of kids that they're doing the junior, you know, I mean, they rope 2 feet and lean back when they win the roping, you know.
Yeah, it was just the other day, Jake always get in my butt, you know. He just introduced me, just we rope with him, so he would get mad as one can be, because I would just rope out of position, I would just pull shots, I would just like whatever, and he would go crazy, and he's trying to teach me, you know, do the right, and it is true. You try to do the right, you can give yourself a better chance to catch every time, keep your horse work and everything. So the other day I was just listening to this deal him and Clay were talking about everybody before you come over here to the last year to the NFR, and he just said, well, I changed my mind my whole year. My whole life I've been telling everybody. He says, my whole life I've been telling everybody, you know, the position, being correct. I rope with the best ropers in the world, and me and Clay were brothers. I watch Clay rope every single time. Best fundamentals ever. And then I tried to junior, but whatever, I don't know. I keep whatever. Now I change. I go to school. I said, try to do this. If it don't work, whatever it takes, catch, shoot, feed, and win. That's about winning. I thought it's funny, you know, hearing that from him. But it is, you know, you got to have the fundamentals to keep going, to doing the right thing. But sometimes, man, we're roping against the clock. Sometimes, like those young guys, get a Kaleb. If we hit the line, he's a little bit late. They can have fire and throw their whole rope and turn him. The right thing to do is sit in your horse, ride him, 2 more strike, get prepared to set up the run. But it's just like, okay, you're going to take 2 more seconds. When you don't have that much time to play with, as you can, but you're not going to win. So you better take your shot. Oh, you might going to miss it. But if you learn how to pull shot and just get fast and catch, that's what's going to pay you.
It's so funny, too, what you guys consider your shot. Because, you know, Kevin Daniel lives about 10 miles from us. And my mom asked him one time, she goes, what's the difference between you and a number 6 header? So somebody right smack dab in the middle. He said, from 2 coils away, the number 6 header is hoping he catches. He said, I'm expecting to catch that steer and be fast. You know, so it's just what you guys expect of yourself. The average person is in awe, because that's your 3-point shot. You know, when Steph Curry shoots a 3, he expects to make it, you know, and it's the same thing with you guys. So thank you so much for your time. This has been a load of fun, and we look forward to seeing if you guys can 3-peat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Want to experience more of the NFR? Then visit NFRexperience.com, and we invite you to subscribe to NFR Extra on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you're listening right now. If you like what you've heard on NFR Extra, we would love it if you gave us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe.